Welcome back. It's been a while since we last checked in on Mike Lawrence's latest reno project, but you better believe he hasn't been sitting idle during that time. The 115-year-old home has presented some challenges recently. So, Mike, before you tell us what's been going on, tell me a little bit about what stage you're at in the reno project right now.
Sure. Hi, Tracy. We've definitely made some progress. It's been an absolute whirlwind since our last check-in, and the crew's been amazing. We've got a lot done. Currently, we're getting ready for spray foam insulation. That's the next step in the project. So we're going to be taking care of everything that's behind the drywall and under the concrete, which has to be 100% complete, tested and inspected before we move ahead with that insulation. So it's not just that structural and framing, but all of the HVAC, or the heating, ventilation, and air conditioning, the plumbing rough-ins, all of those electrical components for each of these planned suites has to be 100% ready to go.
Tell me a little bit about the priorities that you have to stay on track.
Well, this week we're tackling all the window installations throughout every floor, every suite. And we're going to be working on the back framing and the openings for these front porch on this floor and the second floor out to the decks are currently in process. Now, we have some major milestones coming up on the project. The spray foam insulation that I just talked about, which is happening in about a week. So we're running to get that done. And then we immediately move into drywall as soon as that insulation is inspected and passed. The drywall process is going to take 2 to 2.5 weeks. And then we prime or paint out the house, just the first coat. That helps mitigate the dust. And from that point, we activate or initiate the HVAC systems for each suite. Get the house acclimated. We try to get that kind of 40-45% humidity level. At that point, we bring in the flooring. It sits in the house for a week. Then that install happens. And as you know, everything sits on the floor. So we can't move ahead with finishing until the floor is complete. Once that floor is complete, we move into the millwork. The millwork currently is scheduled for sometime in July. After that millwork, I need about 45-60 days to take this project through to completion, so we're on track right now to make that happen.
Of course you are. And I hear that you're doing some really beautiful, like windows, sliding doors at the back. Any challenges there?
Well, at the front, we have a couple of units going out onto the main floor deck and the second floor deck. And I'll tell you, we absolutely got thrown a curveball on this because the existing porch structure is completely antiquated, okay? There is no beamwork in place. The footings are crumbling. And over here, where this existing column was, we cut up a hole to show you, Tracy, but there's no actual column inside. So it's just that 3/4 material on this outside column that's picking up the trim work that was supporting these old joists. So to deal with all of this, it would be way easier to tear it down and rebuild it. But we actually can't do that. That could trigger zoning issues and delays and approvals and delay the project overall. So what we have to do is we have to classify this as a repair. Now, in the eyes of the city, a repair is 50% of the structure can be replaced or repaired. So to do that, we're going to be sistering all of these joists. We're going to be surgically installing a major LVL beam underneath those new joists. We're going to be removing the face of these existing shell columns and inserting 6x6 continuous columns to the rebuilt footings, and then recladding the soffit, the decking, the new railings, and by doing that, we will meet that requirement of the 50% repair. So, yep, it's a challenge, all right.
Well, you know what? We love to watch it. We love to see it. You always figure it out. He's so strategic, so this is going to be phenomenal. Thank you so much for that, Mike.
Absolutely.